Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I am Jewel and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I do map making in the Giants editor, Performing Simulator 22, as well as I have some videos of 19, quite a few in the past. Go check that playlist out. But right now we're going to get back to work. This is some of the scenery here. We're not really close to anything right now. Everything's further over that way, mostly. We're going to go ahead and bring a house over here and get started. I'm just testing out some areas where I want to put some things, so I'm going to hit Control B as in boy. I've already highlighted the object. Then I'm going to left mouse click 2 times and make this set down. So now it's down, it's finalized. And we'll use the Alt button to maneuver around by holding the Alt button and then using the right mouse button. When we press it and hold it, we can go in out. If we let go of Alt, we can press the right mouse button again and hold it and then go left right. So just some ways to move. And let's just look at here. This is the house that I grabbed, and I want it kind of close here, and I'm going to put trees along this area and some trails and things. But for now, I'm trying to get the right spot. Maybe over here. Maybe about right here. So it oversees everything. So let me try to get back just enough to see. I'm going to hit Control B again. Left mouse click. Come down. For some reason we're not hitting quite where I would like, but I think that's decent. I've obviously got to change up the ground a little bit. Let me see. What do we have here? Let's see how we want it to look. Maybe like that. And then they come out their back door. Well, they don't even have a back door. Well, that ain't no good. They should have put a back door in there. Huh. One entrance to that house. Wow. So anyway, we're going to try to situate it. And come down a little bit, check everything. We obviously got to level some things out a little bit. Trying to see how much leveling we got to do. So it looks like, bring it this way a little. Check the other side. Looks like we can start there. So let's come on down. We know we gotta lower it, so let's do that. And pick a point. We're gonna pick this point here. We're gonna click on sculpt mode. We're gonna roll the scroll wheel down to get this smaller. We're gonna click right up here by this corner to grab this level of ground. We're gonna first make sure we're gonna roll down. We're gonna go ahead and put it on square. We're going to make sure it's on replace, which is here, left mouse button, LMB, and have the smooth on the right mouse button. In my case, that's what I want. I'm going to hover where I want it, and I'm going to hit Control R as in Richard. It's going to grab them numbers there that match this level, and then when I hit it, left mouse button, it's going to go to that level. So it's going to take everything to that level. If it needs to go up, it'll go up. If it needs to go down, it'll go down. Okay, so now we're going to click that off, back out of the view, so we can see kind of what we're doing here. And click back on it, and then begin to make it come to where it needs to come. Okay, I'm going to bring it on out past it a little bit, because we're going to smooth it after we do it. We're going to have to change our angle a little bit, but obviously some of this will have to be situated, because it'll be too high potentially, or not, because the gate is at that level, as you can see. So it's technically not, it is a little bit. We'll have to lift it up once we do it. So don't worry about that. We're going to bring it on over here a little bit, bring it out a little bit further past the mailbox. And it doesn't all have to be perfect. We're going to slope some of it, so we'll situate that in a minute. Alright, And we don't even have to have this here if we don't want to. We could get rid of that. So we might get rid of it. We'll see. Some of them I don't mind. I think some of it's okay to leave, but then some of it we don't want. We're going to smooth this out with the right mouse button to get the ground back situated. Get this side. Get the front a little bit. And now we're going to just kind of poke along, see what we got here. See how the steps look. That looks okay. It's on the ground. Back up a little, just checking everything. We're going to smooth this. We could bring it out a little teeny further and then smooth it. Alright. And we may do that again if we don't like it. Yeah, it's a little close. I might bring that out some more. I want it to be a little further out. Give them a little bit of a shelf there or area there. Alright, now let's try to slope it. I'll try to stay back away from the house so they have that little bit of room there. Alright. Let's see how that works out. That's not too terrible. Alright. Alright, all that's good. And let's back off a little so we can see. And that part's decent. Let's grab a little more over here. We'll get the front in just a minute. We're going to slope this. Slope that. Alright. I think that's going to do it for most of that. Yeah. Alright. So with this fence, the mailbox and all that's going to be whatever it's going to be. We may not have it here, obviously, because of depending on what we do with the road. Now we're going to click the brick wall only, which is there. We're going to bring it up till it has a little gap there. We don't mind a little gap. I think that's good enough. As you can see, the fence is quite big. They just basically used a big piece just to do it. That's all they did. And that's okay too. Let me see. We need a little more over here. Just right there a little bit. So let's take care of that. Get this on up a little bit. Start sloping it. Slope it over there. Shrink this down a little bit so we're not hitting anything else up there. And we should be okay. Yeah, that's decent. Now we may or may not keep the fence. That just depends. But now we have a little place by the water that they can be, and then we're probably going to add fields somewhere to this. Not on this episode, but where they are, like, this is home base for a field, like a farm. Alrighty, let me look and see what we want to do. Now, we're not ready to paint yet, and we're not ready to throw the little decorations in, but we can look and back off of this a little and just see what we need to do. I think that needs a hair of a slope right there. Just a little bit, situated a little better. Alright. We'll see how that ends up. Looks like we got a bench up here. Maybe we should bring it down, give it to the house. Give it to the porch. Maybe. Something about right here. Control B. Left mouse click, left mouse click. And back it up a little. And bring it over a little. Right there. Okay, let's go ahead and hit save for a minute. Always remember to save your work. Alright, and give it time. It's spinning. You see the little thing. So give it time to do what it's going to do. Click off of that. Now we can start moving. And there we go. Alright, I was just looking around for a minute. As you can see, they have it set up where you can see inside the house, but it's really just an image, obviously. And then they have the door where you can see inside there. It's kind of neat. Alright, so I think we have most of that part done well. Peeking in all the windows. I guess we shouldn't be doing that, should we? Alright. Well, this is our house. We just put it here, so. Alright. So we're going to add some fields somewhere around here. So I'm not worried about that right now, but it's going to be situated in such a way that makes sense the best that I can. Like I say, we'll just see how that turns out when it's time. But I'm going to try to have a space. We need to knock that down. I'm going to try to have a space between those and have another house. But I'm trying not to get too close to any of that. So I'm trying to give enough room. See, we got another one of these in there. Let's take this up here to the barbecue restaurant and set it up front. And then Control B again just to get it out a little further. Twist it, pull it back. Come up here and twist it. Just temporary. It doesn't mean we have to leave that there. We just don't want it floating off into space and then forgetting about it. Here's another one. Well, we'll just get this one for the other side temporarily. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to stay there, but it might. If we like it, we can. It's not the worst thing that can happen. People waiting on going in the restaurant. So there we go. Now some of this will have to be adjusted, as I said. But as you see, we coming up here and we'll have some fields and a way to get back there. And then we're going to have some trees down here. This is going to be trees, I think, mostly. We're going to have some field situations going on. I'm not quite sure how I want to do them just yet. I know they're going to go sloping down, some of them. But I got to test a little bit on some of the hills about the driving up it and making sure it can be done. Because sometimes the hill don't look like much in here. But when you get in game, as you can see now, or in a certain angle, it's very steep. So you got to be careful. We may have to knock some of these down. And then I'm thinking about changing this road up. I really don't. I had considered going further with the water, and I still hadn't fully decided. But what I might end up doing instead is connecting this to this and not have it go across this. And then the road can go around it somehow. And so we might turn this road toward this other road. This one. So if I have a bridge coming off of there, we may connect it in to this. So let's go ahead and grab the paintbrush. Then we can grab this, Control R to grab this. And then we can, and I'm just going to paint across the road there. And then we can just curve it and then just pretend that we did something similar to that. And let's just pretend, Control R, that we did not want this here. And this is going to be a spot, but we're going to put it in the woods and have a little trail that goes to it so you can go to the water, but that it won't necessarily be the one from the road. And none of this is final. I got to get inside the game. I'll have to adjust the road, make the road be what it is. I may shift this over a little bit, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then when we'll have like trees up in here, and then say they come down here to fish or whatever it is, and this will be adjusted a little bit because it's just the shape of it. It's a little bit not right, but we have to go little by little here. And then we got all kind of stuff. See, some of this is gonna have a lot of tree stuff on it, and then other areas we're gonna make it. We'll have to adjust it to make fields and whatever. I'm gonna bring some housing in somewhere back here. I just gotta decide which spots, because some of this needs to be fields. Like that looks like that could be some, a little bit, maybe certain spots. But like I said, I gotta test it out, and some of this is gonna have to be adjusted as well. We need to paint it properly. Let's grab the grass and just take some of it away. Get it back up the hill. Something like that. And again, we're not finalizing this just yet. Uh, this is just to show what we're going to be doing. I was thinking of making a road between these two buildings that goes off back yonder. So I guess what we'll do just for now, just till we decide on what we actually do, is grab this roughly. I mean, something like that. And let's just knock this down, this road here, and just say that that's where a road's going to be, potentially between the two. It'll obviously be probably a paved road, most likely. Not everything's going to be paved though. I'm going to do dirt roads and stuff certain places. Just well, that isn't what I wanted to do, is it? Alright, that's good for now. Gives us the point. Guess we could adjust that little speck since we're here. And move along. Alright, come on now. Let's go ahead and hit save. Remember, the fence is going to be different. All that's going to be painted potentially different, but we'll see. Alright, so we got that. So I'm thinking that'll be a good spot to head back to a neighborhood potentially. And then, or farms, however we do it. Whatever we end up with. This is actually not a bad place for a farm. On the bottom part, it's at least flat, and it's behind the bowling alley, so then they come out and they see a farm back there. But I don't know if I want that or not yet. I might put trees here. Who knows? Who knows? And see how steep that is? So I may end up putting trees on the top, on the steepest of the hills, or I may have to lower some of them. It just depends. And I was thinking of making this into like a special area where there's trees all around, and then there's like rocks right here. So what I'm gonna do temporary, just so I don't maybe forget, is paint some of those types of rocks if I can find them. Which ones do I want to paint? Not cobblestone. Mountain rock. Let's just see. I don't like it, but just for to show what it is, what I was thinking, I'm gonna paint it just for that sake. Not that we're gonna necessarily do it, but I was thinking of maybe having it be almost like an area of woods here, and then an area where it's just rocky and just boulders and what have you. But this is just temporary, just to show that's what I was thinking. As you can see, these tops of these hills is very steep, so I'm thinking about trees there on them, those types of things, and try to stick to the fields being a little more flat, but not fully flat. They're gonna have hills and all, but I just don't want it so steep that everything's gonna be a mess. So we gotta situate this. We're gonna smooth it out right there. Smooth all this out. Alright. So, but I think that's gonna do it for this one. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna start painting in fields. I painted some in off of it that way somewhere. I may have already posted or not the video, but they're not permanent, and I'm just deciding. So some things may completely change. So don't hold me to any field stuff till it's done, because I'm just deciding things. But I think that the trees are going to go here for sure on this corner. I think that's going to be good there. And I think we're going to be able to get in some fields here a little bit. But I don't think that's going to work because we'll have to put trees at the top and maybe down lower where it barely goes up the hill a little bit. We can have part of a field. But for now, I'm going to call that it on this episode just because we're not going to be able to do all that right now, like all on one episode. And I don't want to make the videos too long, so we're just doing little increments at a time, a building at least at a time, that kind of thing for the viewing of it to be, doable. But at least now we have a spot here by the water. But I'm going to go ahead and call that an episode. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.